Good evening and welcome, administration, faculty, family, friends, and members of the graduating class of 2020. Tonight, we celebrate and recognize many of the graduates in the class of 2020 during this virtual Senior Awards ceremony. We are grateful to so many of the generous individuals and organizations in and around our community that play a critical role in helping us to celebrate our graduates, as many will receive awards and scholarships for their outstanding accomplishments as they prepare to graduate from Washington Township High School tomorrow evening. In addition to our generous donors, I want to thank those that have put in so much time and energy to make this night possible. To our honors coordinators, Mrs. Jill Graham and Mrs. Sherry Yan, and Secretary Barbara Ty, you have made this project a true labor of love, and you share for our kids and our community your love with them. And we are so thankful for that. You are the backbone of this program, and without you, there would be no night like this. To Ms. Kristen Dorado and Mr. Kevin Lindstead, you both play such a critical role in the video work and time-consuming post-production efforts to make this a memorable night, and we can't thank you enough. To our administration, faculty, and staff that play an important role in helping to not only shape the lives of these young men and women, but also in your work to nominate and help in the difficult decisions that must be made through various scholarship committees, we thank you as well. It truly is a team effort. This evening, we are very fortunate to have a special guest to assist us with the delivery of this program. Mr. Scott Graham, a sportscaster with Westwood One Sports, is joining us. His is a voice you are sure to recognize throughout our program. Mr. Graham is known for his broadcasts of the Philadelphia Phillies, his work with NFL Films, and his coverage of NCAA basketball, including the NCAA tournament. Thank you, Mr. Graham, for helping us to make this evening's program a little extra special for our kids and for our school community. And now, let's begin with our Senior Awards program. We begin our awards ceremony with the Memorial Scholarships. These awards are given in loving memory of many cherished individuals whose impact can still be felt by our community and our students. Our heartfelt thanks go out to the families who carry on this tradition in support of this deserving class of seniors.
The Eileen Abbott Memorial Scholarship. Eileen Abbott served our community as a school board member for 27 years. Her passions were our special ed students, our students who were looking to major in special education, and the students in the middle who were often overlooked. This award is given to the individual who would be considered a perfect balance for all the students for whom she was so passionate.
This year's recipients of the Eileen Abbott Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 each are Rachel Rhoda and Mackenzie Smith.
The Brian M. Anderson Memorial Scholarship. Brian Anderson graduated with honors from Washington Township High School in 2002 and went on to graduate summa cum laude from Villanova School of Engineering in only 3 years. In Brian's high school graduation speech, he said, "Washington Township is known for excellent academics, but high school has provided us with much more than textbook knowledge. It has instilled in each and every one of us a feeling of community, acceptance, and pride. The camaraderie between students, support from teachers and administrators, and genuine compassion felt here is truly indescribable." The Brian M. Anderson Memorial Scholarship is presented to a member of the graduating class who is in the top 5% of the class, will be attending a 4-year college, is well respected by peers and teachers, is humble in nature, helps fellow classmates, is actively involved in extracurricular activities, and shows leadership qualities.
This year's recipient of the Brian M. Anderson Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $2,500 is Sophie Aguila.
The Christopher Bidricky Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship has been created in memory of Christopher, a 2002 Washington Township High School graduate, a 2007 West Virginia University graduate, and a former industrial engineer for the Philadelphia Housing Authority. Christopher was a funny, smart, and well-liked young man. He enjoyed fishing and the outdoors. Family and friends have generously contributed to this memorial scholarship, coordinated by the efforts of siblings Michael and Allison. This memorial scholarship is being awarded to 2 seniors who are planning to major in engineering.
This year's recipients of the Christopher B. Drisky Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,500 each are Zachary Weiser and Lindsay Hager.
Melinda Walters, a 2014 Washington Township High School graduate, went on to Rutgers University, earning a degree in nutritional sciences in 2018. She planned to become a registered dietitian when her life was tragically cut short by a car accident at the age of 24. Melinda's legacy of sending wishes for a better universe extended beyond her life as an organ donor. Future events are planned in her memory through Moonlight for Melinda. This scholarship has been created by Melinda's parents, Lisa and Rob Miladeo, in conjunction with Lisa's employer, Preet. Recipients will carry on Melinda's dedication to eating right, exercise, being one with nature, having balance in life, being disciplined and silly, and having a true appreciation for travel.
The Melinda Walters Preet Scholarships in the amount of $2,500 each are awarded to Corinne Leland and McKenna Watson. This year's recipient of the Moonlight for Melinda Scholarship in the amount of $500 is Christina Carreri.
The Colette W. Blystein Paying It Forward Foundation. The Colette W. Blystein Paying It Forward Foundation is awarding 3 $1,000 scholarships to seniors who exhibit characteristics of Colette Wendy Blystein. Colette was a 2007 graduate who was also recognized at her senior awards night for academic excellence, leadership, character, musical ability, and community service. Colette was born with cystic fibrosis, and although her life was not always easy, Colette embraced every moment and inspired many people by paying it forward through acts of kindness and love. In 2012, at the age of 22, she lost her battle with cystic fibrosis. After her death, the president of Rowan University and Senator Madden presented her parents posthumously with a summa cum laude Bachelor of Arts degree in public relations. One of her favorite quotes was, "Your problems are never bigger than your purpose." In her honor, Colette's family has created the Colette W. Blystein Paying It Forward Foundation, which honors the legacy left by Colette of giving unselfishly to the world in the midst of great challenges and suffering. This scholarship honors students who demonstrate a strong commitment to community service, have a positive spirit, maintain a B average or above, and plan to attend a New Jersey State or community college.
This year's recipients of the Colette W. Blystein Paying It Forward Foundation Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 each are Rachel Rhoda, Megan Leonard, and Emma Avis.
The Caitlin Bollendorf Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship is in memory of Caitlin Bollendorf, a 2006 graduate of Washington Township High School. Caitlin passed away in 2009 from a lifelong battle with epilepsy. Caitlin loved her years at Township and especially loved her teachers in the special education department. The scholarship honors 2 deserving seniors, preferably majoring in special education or related services, such as speech, physical and occupational therapy, and who will hopefully impact their students one day as much as Caitlin was impacted by hers.
This year's recipients of the Caitlin Bollendorf Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 each are Dylan Thompson and Lindsay Cratchwell.
The Keir Family Memorial Scholarship. The Washington Township Republican Club proudly presents the Keir Family Memorial Scholarship. Tonight, they present their scholarship to a deserving senior who has overcome obstacles and who perseveres and continues to push forward.
This year's recipient of the Keir Family Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $300 is Luke Masney.
The Tony Buca Memorial Scholarship. The Tony Buca Memorial Scholarship is presented by Tony's daughter Lauren Krupa, his son Jonathan Buca, and his extended family. Both of Tony's children are graduates of Washington Township High School, and Lauren is a counselor at Grenlock Terrace. Tony Buca was a former high school math teacher who had a spirit of determination and perseverance. The students selected to receive this scholarship encompass Tony's philosophy to never give up. Hard work does pay off. And yes, you can do it if you try.
This year's recipients of the Tony Buca Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 each are Anthony Duca and Masira Cisse.
The Chrissy Call Memorial Scholarship. Presenting the Chrissy Call Memorial Scholarship is Mrs. Barbara Call. This scholarship has been given annually since 1993 in memory of Chrissy Call, who lost her battle with leukemia during her sophomore year at Washington Township High School. The students will each receive a $500 scholarship.
The Chrissy Call Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 each is awarded to Christina Diaz, Ryan DeJohn, Maggie Fitzgerald, Jacob Noxon, Allison Tobler, and Madison Wernick.
The Robert L. Cookenham Jr. Memorial Scholarship. Rob was a 1984 graduate of Washington Township High School. While driving to work in October 2014, Rob tragically passed away in an accident caused by a young man under the influence. Rob was an intelligent, inventive, fun-loving man who loved his family. He was a passionate and dedicated millwright foreman who loved his job. Rob took great pride in overseeing his crews, mentoring young apprentices, and developing new and safer working conditions. Rob believed that training was essential for any professional craftsman, and he lived up to his motto, "Good enough is never good enough." Rob began as a millwright apprentice and worked his way up to foreman. From his first day as apprentice to the last day of life, Rob trained, went to school, and took classes. He always wanted to learn more. So much so that Rob was the first millwright to ever graduate from the Associated General Contractors Supervisory Training Program. Rob worked on many large projects in Philadelphia, including the relocation of the Liberty Bell to its current site. However, Rob's good nature and contagious laugh made such challenging projects just a little easier. Rob loved his country and respected our veterans. He was an honorary member of the VFW, and he spent his days off helping raise money for veterans. Rob will always be remembered for his big laugh and his even bigger heart.
The Robert L. Cookenham Jr. Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Riley Nicolella.
The Tony Donato Bolus and Baby RJ Foundation. The foundation was created by Tony's sister, Angela Donato, and her family to honor Tony Donato Bolus and her soon-to-be-born son RJ, who lost their lives on June 1, 2011 in a motor vehicle crash caused by a distracted driver using a cell phone. The mission of the foundation is to raise awareness on the dangers of distracted driving by sharing Tony and RJ's story in schools and other public forums. Scholarships are presented to deserving graduating seniors with plans of continuing their studies at an accredited college and who have shown an interest in supporting the cause and the willingness to become involved in spreading awareness of distracted driving.
The Tony Donato Bolus and Baby RJ Foundation Scholarship in the amount of $2,000 is awarded to Maggie Fitzgerald. The Tony Donato Bolus and Baby RJ Foundation Scholarship in the amount of $1,500 is awarded to Megan Leonard.
The Robert H. Householder Memorial Scholarship. The Robert H. Householder Memorial Scholarship is presented annually to members of the Interact Club who have devoted 3 years of extraordinary service to this organization. Mr. Householder, a former department chairperson and biology teacher, initiated the first Interact Club in Washington Township. Because of his membership in Rotary International and his work as an advisor to the Washington Township Interact Club, Mr. Householder was a recipient of the Paul Harris Award for Distinguished Service to Rotary. Upon his untimely death in 1981, Mr. Householder bequeathed the sum of $100,000 to the Washington Township School District. It was his will that the interest acquired from the principal sum would be given in scholarship to graduating seniors who have provided service to their fellow man through the Interact Club.
This year's recipient of the Robert H. Householder Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $2,700 is Rachel Rhoda. The Interact Rotary Scholarship in the amount of $1,500 is awarded to K.C. Van Mater.
The Christopher Lawler Philanthropic Foundation. Christopher Lawler, a former Washington Township High School English teacher, inspired countless students for 28 years. In his memory and legacy, the Christopher Lawler Philanthropic Foundation was established to continue Christopher's humanitarian passions in promoting education and literacy, feeding the hungry, and in furthering cancer research. This year, the Christopher Lawler Philanthropic Foundation awards a senior who has been accepted into a 2- or 4-year college and who, by his or her words and actions, have had a positive influence on the student body. Recipients of the award are students who have palpably helped to enhance the school environment by demonstrating a love of learning and by celebrating individuality, cooperation, inclusiveness, and diversity in a way that transcends simple tolerance.
The Christopher Lawler Philanthropic Foundation awards a scholarship in the amount of $2,500 to Emma Avis.
The R. Roy Leonard Senior Scholarship. The R. Roy Leonard Senior Scholarship Fund was established in his memory by his wife, Marie Leonard, and their 8 children, in recognition of his lifelong love of music. The fund awards one $1,000 scholarship to an outstanding graduating senior of Washington Township High School, planning to pursue a music-related college education. The recipient was selected by the music department of WTHS and has demonstrated the qualities of academic excellence, superior music ability, high moral character, and above all, a strong desire to bring the joy of music to others.
The R. Roy Leonard Senior Scholarship Fund awards a scholarship in the amount of $1,000 to Sophie Aguila.
The Austin Muckenfuss Memorial Scholarship. Austin was a kind, caring, and outgoing young man who always put others before himself. His passion for sports was his way of coping with the struggles he faced personally with a reading disability. Through his hard work and dedication, Austin was able to overcome this disability. The awards given this evening honor Austin's memory, his passions, his dedication and acceptance, and his kind and caring ways.
This year's recipient of the Austin Muckenfuss Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,250 is Brendan Leone. The Austin Muckenfuss Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 each is awarded to Zachary Andrews, Ryan DeJohn, and Jack Dunn. The Austin Muckenfuss Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $750 each is awarded to Michael LaRosa and Andrew Nosili. The Austin Muckenfuss Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 each is awarded to Emma Avis, Ronald Bush, and Sophia Santiago. The Austin Muckenfuss Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 each is presented to Caitlin Colligan, Maggie Fitzgerald, Julia Swedick, and Deborah Reinhardt. And the Austin Muckenfuss Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $250 is presented to Megan Koze.
The Ryan O'Hara Awards. Ryan O'Hara's parents, Terry and Barbara O'Hara, and Ryan's brothers, Brandon and Justin, created scholarships in memory of 2004 Washington Township High School graduate Ryan O'Hara. In 2007, Ryan was a junior at the University of Delaware when he left us too soon. While at Delaware, Ryan majored in history education, minored in German, and continued with his love of music by being in the marching band. the Ryan O'Hara Distinguished German Award. The Ryan O'Hara Distinguished German Award is given to an outstanding student of German education at Washington Township High School who took German for at least 3 years, had a B or better average, was a member of the German Club, and fostered a love for the language and heritage of German.
This year's recipient of the Ryan O'Hara Distinguished German Award in the amount of $1,200 is Ethan Wenger.
The Spirit of Ryan O'Hara Instrumental Music Award. The Spirit of Ryan O'Hara Instrumental Music Award is given to a graduating member of the Washington Township High School Band who was enrolled in the program for at least 3 years. The award is given in memory of Ryan, whose passion for music, his dedication and loyalty to the band program, and positive spirit and outlook was infectious to his fellow bandsmen.
The Spirit of Ryan O'Hara Instrumental Music Award in the amount of $1,200 goes to Alyssa Bollendorf.
The Faith Munson Music Scholarship. Faith Munson was the music teacher at Bells Elementary School for over 20 years. This scholarship is given in her memory to a student who shares the same love of music and the importance of sharing it with others.
This year's recipient of the Faith Munson Music Scholarship in the amount of $1,200 is Brielle Heine.
The Jack Peak Scholarship. The Jack Peak Scholarship is being presented to a student who views volunteering as an opportunity to change people's lives, including their own. Jack Peak was the father of Kelly Gorski and Kristen Stites. Kelly and her husband Bob Gorski are both retired teachers with years of dedication and service to Washington Township schools. Jack was also the beloved grandfather of Bobby Gorski and Chrissy Pesci. Jack Peak, a retired Marine, was very involved with charities and community service. He lived his life giving back to his community.
This year's recipient of the Jack Peak Scholarship in the amount of $500 is Casey Van Meter.
The 10th Annual Derek G. Schnapp Memorial Soccer Scholarship. The Scholarship Committee is tasked with choosing an applicant that they believe will use their talents to make a difference in this world. The recipient has faced life's challenges while maintaining a never-give-up work ethic. Derek fought bravely over his 4-year battle with sarcoma cancer and strongly believed that being positive will change your life.
The 10th Annual Derek G. Schnapp Memorial Soccer Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Giovanna Castorina.
The Sabrina Thayer Memorial Scholarship. Sabrina Thayer was an active member of our community as both a parent and a school district employee, serving as a lunch aide and special education aide in several elementary schools. When she was diagnosed with breast cancer, she underwent treatment for 5 years, never giving up hope and still putting others first. Sabrina had a true love for life and was grateful for every day she had on this earth to spend with those she loved. Sabrina Thayer's husband Brad and their daughters Shauna and Charisse and their son Trevor award this scholarship to a student who shares a similar story. Awarded to a student who faced a hardship, a student who grew up faster than they should have, and despite their hardship, still excelled in school.
This year's recipient of the Sabrina Thayer Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 is Jordan Milo.
The Nikki Brandemarty Memorial Scholarship. The Nikki Brandemarty Memorial Scholarship awards one male and one female student-athlete who are continuing their education, display a strong work ethic, are kind and considerate of others, and have a positive attitude. These ideals exemplify the life of the late Nikki Brandemarty Jr. Nikki was a student-athlete at West Deptford High School who went on to play football at Fordham University. Nikki was best known for his kindness to others, a gregarious personality. With a glimpse of his smile and determined demeanor, one knew he was destined for greatness. Even more impressive was his love of family, of friends, and his zest for life. Tragically, Nikki was lost in the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. He had just begun his professional career as an investment banker.
The Nikki Brandemarty Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 each is awarded to Zachary Andrews and Giovanna Castorina.
The George Gagliardi Memorial Scholarship. George Gagliardi was a former president of the Washington Township High School Lacrosse Booster Club. He promoted respect for fellow teammates and was known for his motto, "Honor the game." He was enthusiastic in helping young men fulfill their passion athletically in lacrosse, academically in college, and substantially in life to become the best person they can be.
This year's recipient of the George Gagliardi Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 is Zachary Grassi.
The Debbie Persilio Memorial Scholarship. Debbie Persilio was an elementary school teacher for 24 years at Whitman Elementary School and lost her battle with cancer in 2014. This scholarship honors Debbie for her love of teaching and for her devotion to the students at Whitman Elementary School. Debbie's husband, John Persilio, presents these scholarships to her former students.
The Debbie Persilio Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 each is awarded to Rachel Rhoda and Nicholas Holmes.
The Julia Rose Gurley Memorial Scholarship. An alumnus of Washington Township, Jason Gurley, class of '92, and his wife Denise provide the Julia Rose Gurley Memorial Scholarship, named for their daughter, who was lost to SIDS at the tender age of 3 months. This scholarship is awarded to a student with a 90 average or better who is well-rounded and has an intended career in medicine.
The Julia Rose Gurley Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Tristan Lee.
The Bud Yankee Memorial Scholarship. Former Washington Township staff member Bud Yankee was a man who gave so much to others. Bud was outgoing, fun-loving, and optimistic. He was courageous in the face of many obstacles and always continued to set and achieve goals. He maintained a positive outlook on life and the future, regardless of life's circumstances. He was an inspiration to those of us lucky enough to have known and loved him.
The Bud Yankee Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $300 is awarded to Brandon Spain. The Bud Yankee Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $200 is awarded to Michael Morris. The Bud Yankee Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $100 is awarded to Dylan Thompson.
The John Gentili Memorial 5K Washington Township Parks and Recreation Youth Track and Field Scholarships. John Gentili's wife and their children, in conjunction with Washington Township Parks and Recreation Board members Joyce McMurray and Jim Gaskin, award this scholarship. The John Gentili Memorial 5K was named in memory of their friend, track coach, and board member, who left us much too soon in 2013.
The John Gentili Memorial 5K Washington Township Parks and Recreation Youth Track and Field Scholarships in the amount of $500 each are awarded to Kate Cochran, Vincent LaMonica, and Paige Wadarchik.
The Coach Schuneman Memorial Tennis Scholarship. Members of the Washington Township High School tennis team, both boys and girls, experienced the loss of their beloved coach, Michael Schuneman, last year. Both in the classroom and on the tennis courts, Coach Schuneman always exhibited mentorship, leadership, and good sportsmanship. Coach Schuneman's motto of "trust the process" embodied his strongest quality of perseverance in the face of adversity. The Coach Schuneman Memorial Scholarship was created in 2019 to honor tennis players who display these characteristics. Coach Schuneman would be very proud of these exceptional student athletes who are receiving the second annual scholarship in his memory.
This year's recipients of the Coach Schuneman Memorial Tennis Scholarship in the amount of $500 each are Christina Diaz and Bradley Cahill.
The Edward M. Oberman CPA Memorial Scholarship for Accounting. The Edward M. Oberman CPA Memorial Scholarship in memory of Ed, who operated his accounting firm in Washington Township for over 20 years. One of Ed's favorite ways to get involved in the community was talking to students in business classes at Washington Township High School about careers in accounting. He believed in the accounting profession and wanted to share its benefits whenever he could. This scholarship is awarded to an outstanding senior who demonstrates academic excellence, commitment to community service, and plans to pursue a degree in accounting.
The Edward M. Oberman CPA Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,500 goes to Jason Leonard. Washington Township is not just a municipality. It is a community of proud people that come together to support one another. We are proud to present the Community Scholarships because no matter where you end up, graduates, Township will always be your home. The WTPR Youth Baseball Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 is awarded to Daniel Oberman. This year's recipient of the Thomas Jefferson Memorial Staff Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 is Julius Swedick. The Whitman Staff Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $350 is awarded to David Forcinito.
The Washington Township Basketball Booster Club. The Washington Township Advisory Board oversees the intramural and travel programs, with more than 1,300 participants on an annual basis. The board awards scholarships to graduating seniors who have participated in our program for at least 4 years and are planning on furthering their education. The scholarships are given in memory of one of our former commissioners, Greg Eliason. Greg was an integral part of our program. His dedication and time spent working with our board for the benefit of all those who were involved was invaluable.
This year's recipients of the Washington Township Basketball Booster Club Scholarship to honor Greg Eliason in the amount of $1,000 each are Daniel Oberman and Sophia Shiva. The
Agassiz Character and Personal Values Scholarships. The Agassiz Funeral Home, under the direction of Mr. Charlie Chango, is donating 2 scholarships to deserving seniors who have demonstrated strong character and personal values. To have a strong character and positive personal values is to have good thoughts, good intentions, and good deeds, to love and to care for those whom we are close to and are part of our primary social group, such as children, parents, other family members, friends, and our community at large. The Agassiz Character and Personal Values Scholarships, each in the amount of $500, are awarded to Paige Bennett and Zachary Andrews. The Wigs and Wishes Scholarships. Martino Cartier and his Wigs and Wishes Foundation sponsor these generous scholarships. Martino Cartier founded Wigs and Wishes, a nonprofit organization whose mission is uniting salons across the world in providing free wigs to women and children undergoing chemotherapy or battling cancer. Martino is extending a total of 7 wishes as scholarships to our seniors, and for this, we are truly grateful. The Wigs and Wishes Foundation is awarding scholarships in the amount of $1,000 each to Zachary Andrews, Maggie Fitzgerald, Megan Koze. Wigs and Wishes scholarships in the amount of $1,000 each are also presented to Brendan Leone, Angelina Magri, Jordan Milu, and Liam Stewart. The Hoffman DeMuzio Law Office's Gift of the Heart Scholarship. Hoffman DeMuzio Law Office's Community Service Scholarship Foundation awards a male and female student whose service-oriented commitment throughout their 4 years of high school showed a passion for helping others, both within the classroom and within the community. This year's recipients of the Hoffman DeMuzio Law Office's Gift of the Heart Scholarship, each in the amount of $1,000, are Casey Van Mater and Daniel Doherty. This year's recipients of the Ralph Miller Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 each are Anthony Saravo and Kaylee Snyder.
This year's recipient of the Jefferson Health Medical Staff Scholarship in the amount of $2,000 is Elizabeth Rizzo. The Youth Cheer Scholarship in the amount of $500 each is awarded to Caitlin Colligan and Sophia Santiago. The Youth Cheer Scholarship in the amount of $300 is awarded to Alyssa Woodward. This year's recipients of the William Randazzo Softball Scholarship in the amount of $300 each are Christina Diaz, Peyton Ensign, and Jillian Morgan. The Washington Township Parks and Recreation Field Hockey Association awards a scholarship in the amount of $300 to Paige Wadarchik.
The Keep Moving Forward Scholarship. The Francisco family, Ryan, Mariah, and Kately, all graduates of Washington Township High School, have created the Keep Moving Forward Scholarship to recognize a student who instantly strives to help others and views adversity as an opportunity to learn, grow, and build resilience.
This year's recipient of the Keep Moving Forward Scholarship in the amount of $500 is Brandon Spain. The Clayton Elks Lodge number 2132 Book Scholarship in the amount of $100 goes to Jolie Raposis and Sierra Morris. This year's recipients of the Gloucester County Professional Counselors Association Scholarship in the amount of $150 each are Lucas Bongard and Megan Leonard. This year's Marine Corps League Semper Fidelis Detachment Award in the amount of $300 goes to Christopher Altamuro.
The Maria Bresco Scholarship. Awarded to a female student who demonstrates leadership qualities in and out of school and has an understanding of what a huge impact women have on society. This student understands the importance of voting and encourages others to exercise their right to vote.
The Maria Brasco Scholarship in the amount of $300 is awarded to Skylar Hart. This year's recipient of the Junior Achievement of New Jersey Hero Award in the amount of $500 is Sean Mears. The Washington Township Chamber of Commerce awards 2 scholarships in the amount of $1,000 each to Jason Leonard and Sophia Shivo. This year's recipient of the Gloucester County Women's Club Scholarship in the amount of $250 is Lauren Loletta. South Jersey Federal Credit Union presents Business and Personal Finance Award scholarships in the amount of $250 each to Alex D'Angelantonio and Gianluca Lockhart. MBM Sports presents an award in the amount of $100 to the Marketing Education Student of the Year, Giovanna Durnan. The Fearless Movement Trailblazer Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Zulea Kumas. Our Washington Township High School PTO generously supports our schools in so many ways. Not only are they constantly giving of their time and efforts to promote educational programs for the welfare of our students and our staff, they also donate numerous scholarships to our graduating seniors. Thank you, Washington Township PTO, for all that you do and for your continued support and generosity for our students. The Pleasure to Teach PTO Award for Visual Art in the amount of $100 goes to Julia Andricola. This year's recipient of the Pleasure to Teach Award for Business Education in the amount of $100 is Luke Masney. The Pleasure to Teach Award in English in the amount of $100 goes to David Forcinito. The Pleasure to Teach Award for Family and Consumer Science in the amount of $100 goes to Olivia Barnes. This year's recipient for the Pleasure to Teach Award in World Language in the amount of $100 is Sophia Shivo. The Pleasure to Teach Award for Health and Physical Education in the amount of $100 goes to Carly Quinn. The Pleasure to Teach Award for Mathematics in the amount of $100 goes to Gabriella Sozio. This year's recipient of the Pleasure to Teach Award in Air Force Junior ROTC in the amount of $100 is Austin Ahart. This year's recipient of the Pleasure to Teach Award for Science in the amount of $100 is Brian Campana. The recipient of this year's Pleasure to Teach Award in Social Studies in the amount of $100 is Gabrielle Green-Smith. The Pleasure to Teach Award in Technology Education in the amount of $100 goes to Sophie Aguila. The Washington Township High School PTO awards scholarships in the amount of $500 each to Emma Avis, Ryan DeJohn, Maggie Fitzgerald, David Forcinito, Kylie Jones, Molly Kern, Megan Leonard, Daniel Oberman, Rachel Rhoda, Paige Tatus, William Vandell, and Zachary Weiser. The Washington Township High School PTO awards scholarships in the amount of $250 each to Brandon Buell, Giovanna Castorina, Maria Costanzo, Caitlin Crompton, Jack Dunn, Nicholas Flamma, Lindsay Hager, Megan Koze, Matthew Marmon, Stephanie Massapolo, Jordan Milu, Kayla Parkin, Jocelyn Proferis, Deborah Reinhardt, Nicole Sisto, Gabriella Sozio, Macy Trout, Matthew Weinstein, Stephen Weinstein, and Paige Wodarchuk. This year's recipients of the PTO President's Council Award in the amount of $100 are Grace Tucci and Caitlin Mountford. Total Turf is awarding 2 scholarships for kickball craze in the amount of $500 each to Julia Marino and Morgan Davis. The PTO District Art Show Awards in the amount of $100 are given to Victor Colazzo and Caitlin Craig, and in the amount of $50 each to Nicholas Hilbert and Ryan Klinowski.
Well, I'm sure to many of our families, it feels just like yesterday that your graduates were walking out of the door of first grade. While time has certainly flown, the support of the schools throughout the district remains a constant. The following awards are given by Washington Township Elementary and Middle Schools.
This year's recipients of the Bells Elementary School PTO scholarships in the amount of $500 each are Trey Jackson, Daniel Oberman, and Lindsay Cratchwell. The Birches PTO awards a $500 scholarship to Jason Leonard and a scholarship in the amount of $300 each to Maggie Fitzgerald, Vincent LaMonica, and Rachel Rhoda. This year's recipients of the Wedgwood Elementary PTO Scholarship in the amount of $500 each are Madison Wernick and Lindsay Hager. The Whitman Elementary Home and School Council awards scholarships in the amount of $1,000 each to Paige Tatus and David Forcinido. This year's recipients of the Chestnut Ridge Middle School PTO Maria Carpenter Scholarship in the amount of $500 each are Ryan DeJohn and Macy Trout. This year's recipient of the Orchard Valley Middle School PTO Scholarship in the amount of $500 is Julia Swedick. The Wedgwood faculty and staff offer scholarships in the amount of $250 each to Alyssa Bollendorf and Erin Crane. This year's recipients of the Herfville PTO Vince Cavalea Scholarship in the amount of $500 each are Megan Koze, Madison Canino, and Lauren Stevens. This year's recipients of the Bunker Hill Middle School PTO Education Award in the amount of $250 each are David Forcinido, Jason Leonard, Sophia Shivo, and Gabriella Sozio. The Thomas Jefferson Elementary PTO offers scholarships in the amount of $500 each to Olivia Barnes and Emily Manis.
The Washington Township Principals Association is pleased to announce two winners of its annual $500 scholarship as a result of having a GPA of 93 or higher, member of at least 2 extracurricular activities each of the 4 years in high school, acceptance into an accredited 4-year college, and evidence of leadership, service to school and community.
The Washington Township Principals Association offers scholarships in the amount of $500 each to Lauren Faustino and Jason Aquino. Washington Township High School has been the home of the class of 2020 for 4 years. Our graduates have certainly left their mark on our school and on our community, and you will be remembered for many years to come. I hope that the memories and the relationships you have created will stay with you forever, and that you always have a sense of township pride. I'm proud to next present our school-based awards. This year's recipient of the African American Culture Club Scholarship in the amount of $200 is Chantel Smith. This year's recipient of the Elaine Brocious Memorial DECA Member Award in the amount of $200 is Morgan Davis. The orchestra patrons award scholarships in the amount of $700 to Jared Mitchell and Michael Morris, and a scholarship in the amount of $600 to KC Van Mater. Scholarships in the amount of $575 each are awarded to Gabriella Sozio, Kylie Jones, and Molly Kern. A scholarship in the amount of $525 goes to Anjali Malaro. Scholarships in the amount of $500 each go to Audrey Ross and Clara Falk. A scholarship in the amount of $450 is awarded to Jocelyn Proferis. A scholarship in the amount of $350 is awarded to Joshua
Epifano. A scholarship in the amount of $300 is awarded to Olivia Binder. A scholarship in the amount of $250 is awarded to Kenneth Whipkey. Scholarships in the amount of $200 each are awarded to Hannah Schrader and Paige Tatus. The Washington Township High School Student Council awards scholarships in the amount of $150 each to Kate Cochran, Maggie Fitzgerald, and Skylar Hart. This year's recipient of the Washington Township High School Homecoming Queen Award and a scholarship in the amount of $150 is Rachel Rhoda. This year's recipients of the Tri-M Music Honor Society scholarships in the amount of $300, Sophie Aguilo, and for $200, Brian Campana. Our Mu Alpha Theta Math Honor Society awards a scholarship in the amount of $100 to Srita Basu. This year's recipient of the Washington Township High School Science National Honor Society Award in the amount of $100 is Simon Singh. The Science League WTHS Science League Ambassador Award in the amount of $100 goes to Alex D'Angelantonio. This year's recipient of the National Art Honor Society Scholarship in the amount of $200 is Caitlin Craig. A scholarship in the amount of $200 for outstanding service to the yearbook is awarded to Philip Gabriel. Our National Honor Society awards scholarships in the amount of $300 each to Alam Singh, Allison Dewey, Carly Quint, and Lindsay Hager. Class Council awards scholarships in the amount of $200 each to Paige Bennett, Olivia Binder, Daniel Doherty, Molly Kern, Lindsay Cratchwell, Megan Leonard, Isabel Pingle, Audrey Ross, and Hannah Schrader. The Washington Township High School Powder Puff Senior Class Service awards scholarships in the amount of $375 each to Joseph Bakich, Oshaz Bajwa, Mackenzie Spino, and Jessica Nelson. This year's recipient of the Drama Club Award in the amount of $150 is Kayla Parkin. The Way Off Broadway Players award scholarships in the amount of $250 each to Trey Jackson and Kayla Parkin. The Washington Township Education Association awards scholarships in the amount of $250 each to Ryan DeJohn, Emily Johns, Vincent LaMonica, Megan Leonard, Rachel Rhoda, Madison Wernick, and Charles Wisely. This year's recipient of the DECA Emerging Leader Award and a scholarship in the amount of $500 is Zachary Andrews. This year's recipients of the Outstanding DECA Student Award and scholarships in the amount of $250 each are Jocelyn Morell and Sophia Shivo. Scholarships in the amount of $200 each for FBLA Outstanding Membership are awarded to Oshaz Bajwa, Colin Lee, and Daniel Oberman.
Well, tradition is such a profound part of our culture at Washington Township High School. The following 6 honors have been awarded for decades. Due to their longevity and significance, these next awards are known as the Big Six.
Franklin Gar Atkinson was an alumnus of Washington Township High School who lost his life serving in the Vietnam War. This award is presented in his honor and goes to the young man and young woman in the senior class who have made outstanding achievements in the areas of athletics, scholarship, and service.
This year's recipients of the Franklin Gar Atkinson Scholarship in the amount of $500 each are Jack Dunn and Gabriella Responti.
The Danny Greenblatt Memorial Award is awarded to a graduating senior who has both maintained high academic standards and a high involvement in school and community activities.
The Danny Greenblatt Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Ethan Wenger.
Ronald David Heck was an alumnus of Washington Township High School and was the first graduate to lose his life serving in the Vietnam War. This memorial award is presented to the young man and young woman in the senior class who have demonstrated the qualities of patriotism, service, loyalty, and dependability.
This year's recipients of the Ronald David Heck Scholarship in the amount of $500 each are Vidi Patel and Jared Mitchell.
The Washington Township High School Alumni Association developed this award to single out and honor the boy and girl in the senior class who have rendered service and loyalty to their fellow classmates and school.
The Washington Township High School Alumni Association scholarships in the amount of $500 each are awarded to Joseph Bakich and Casey Van Mater.
The Minuteman and Minute Maid Musket Award recognizes one male and one female member of the graduating class whose quiet efficiency and seriousness of purpose best exemplify the ideals of Washington Township High School.
This year's recipients of the Musket Award and scholarships in the amount of $500 each are Jordan Milo and Stephen Teeple.
The Principal's Award of a plaque and $500 is presented to a young man and young lady who have been judged by the faculty as outstanding in the areas of citizenship, leadership, scholarship, honor, and courage.
This year's Principal's Award and scholarships in the amount of $500 each go to Srita Basu and Colin Lee.
The Yvonne Ferrari Memorial Award of $500 and certificate is awarded to a female member of the senior class who is an inspiration to her classmates in recognition of her sincere interest in others, personal integrity, humility, and friendliness.
This year's recipient of the Yvonne Ferrari Memorial Award and a scholarship in the amount of $500 is Audrey Ross.
The Senior Hall of Fame Award of $500 is for a top academic student who has participated in school activities and community service, has the respect and admiration of the faculty and of their own peers, and has shown leadership qualities and impeccable character. A plaque with a picture of the student will be hung on the Senior Hall of Fame wall.
This year's recipient of the Senior Hall of Fame Award and a scholarship in the amount of $500 is Jocelyn Preferis. It has become a tradition at Washington Township High School to recognize and honor those students that have found a calling to serve in some capacity in our military. These students are provided with a patriotic cord of distinction that they will wear during our graduation ceremony. We celebrate them and salute them for their commitment to serving our country. This year's students are Jack Dunn, Dana Campbell, Liam Stewart, Nicholas Lex, Ryan DeJohn, Sydney Hatton, and Gianni Sacca. During our graduation ceremony, we recognize students for outstanding academic achievement. Our magna cum laude students, who are graduating in the top 5% of their class, will be wearing a silver stole of distinction during the graduation ceremony. This year's magna cum laude graduates are Sophie Aguila, Christopher Altamura, Zachary Andrews, Srita Basu, Giovanna Castorina, Allison Dewey, Hayden Doterra, Georgia Caravangelis, Lauren Loletta, Jason Leonard, Daniel Oberman, Isabel Pingle, Jocelyn Proferis, Carly Quint, Harrison Rao, Audrey Ross, Gabriella Sozio, Julia Swedick, Matthew Weinstein, Stephen Weinstein, and Brian Zhang.
The Frank S. Flowers Charitable Trust was created under Mr. Flowers' last will and testament following his death in 1979. Mr. Flowers was a successful banker and a resident of Woodbury, New Jersey. His primary and philanthropic goal was to support and improve Gloucester County and organizations in which he was involved during his life. The Trust provides grants to educational, youth, health-related, and religious organizations that are primarily located in Gloucester County, New Jersey. The summa cum laude graduates each receive $1,000 from the Frank S. Flowers Charitable Trust.
Students that graduate in the top 1% of the graduating class are deemed summa cum laude graduates of Washington Township High School and will be adorned with gold sashes of distinction during our graduation ceremony. This year's summa cum laude graduates and recipients of the Frank Flowers Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 each are David Forcinito, Colin Lee, Tristan Lee, Jordan Milu, and Stephen Teeple.
In any typical year, we recognize the student with the highest weighted GPA as our valedictorian and the student with the second highest weighted GPA as our salutatorian. But this is no ordinary year. This year, the class of 2020 is represented by co-valedictorians and twin brothers, Colin Lee and Tristan Lee. Keeping this special tradition alive, I would like to now ask Tristan to award Colin with his valedictorian medallion. And now I would like to ask Colin to award Tristan with his valedictorian medallion. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the co-valedictorians of the class of 2020, Colin Lee and Tristan Lee. At this time, I would like to call representatives of the senior
and Junior Class Executive Council, Senior Lindsay Cratchwell and Junior Kelly Way, to the podium for the transfer of the charge.
As a representative of the class of 2020, I challenge you, the class of 2021, to continue the high standards of success, knowledge, and service that we have achieved this year, and to uphold the honor and integrity of Washington Township High School. Please hold dear to your heart the responsibilities and traditions that we've accomplished this year. On behalf of the class of 2020, we wish you well in your senior year at Washington Township High School.
On behalf of the members of the class of 2021, I am pleased and honored to accept this charge and challenge. We will approach this challenge wisely, and we hope to carry on the tradition of excellence that has been set by our graduating class. We wish each and every one of you the best of luck in all of your future endeavors.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining us this evening, and congratulations once more to all of our seniors that were recognized and honored this evening. We are so very proud of all of our students, and we are grateful for the ongoing support of our parents and everyone in and around our school community. I do hope you will tune in tomorrow night, Thursday, June 18th at 7 p.m. to watch our virtual commencement ceremony. That will give us another opportunity to celebrate the entire class of 2020. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.